Okay. Chair now recognize Mr. Hart as a proponent. Thank you. Go right ahead, Mr. Hart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the subcommittee chair who's been over this legislation for the past 8 years, I do want to thank the members of the committee and the staff for their hard work that we've gone through over the past 8 years. It's been very trying, it's been very emotional, it's been very tough. We have ups, we've had downs. And I've been here since 2006, and I chose, it was my prerogative to stay on this committee since 2006. I've had a chance to go to other committees. I've had a chance to be on Ways and Means if I had chose to. But I chose to stay here on this committee because of legislation like this and the way that we affect lives of thousands of people in South Carolina. This is one of the most restrictive bills of all the states in the country. Right now, we're only one of 4 states in the country without any form of marijuana legislation, particularly medical marijuana. I say that because South Carolina has a long history of always being last to choose to do something progressive. And I also say that because we have a sordid history of choosing not to get in front of things progressive. Over the past years, we've heard from the family members and some of our newer members who wasn't here. You've seen some of those children come in here. Little kids with the bravery and the hearts of a lion to stand on that podium and look us in the eye and say, look, I need help. I need something to stop these seizures. One of the young men that came in early this week, Monday, he had a hood on over his head. He sat back the whole entire time. When he first started coming, he needed assistance from his mother to get to that podium. What you saw on Monday was he walked to that podium by himself. When he first came, he couldn't read any of his testimony alone. He needed the assistance of his mother. But on Monday, he did it by himself. Representative Gilliard's constituent, that lady relentlessly has come up here every single year for her daughter. Every year. Every year she's come up here. And I don't believe in my heart that she has come up here so her daughter can overdose on marijuana, have it be a gateway drug to another drug, which leads me to my next point. I don't understand the gateway analysis. And here's what I don't understand about the gateway analysis. It's a gateway to what? What drug? Because all the other drugs are currently out there now. People are doing those drugs now, and we don't have this legislation. So I'm confused by the gateway analysis because I'm thinking, what is it going to be a gateway to? And if we don't have this legislation, what is the gateway now? What's leading them to those drugs? One of the worst forms of substance that we can have right now is nicotine. You don't have commercials on TV anymore for cigarettes. Pharmacies have taken cigarettes out of the store. Walmart is suited to take cigarettes out of their stores. Cigarettes is one of the worst substances that you can ingest into your body. Lastly, I have to stand up for our veterans. And I say that because I'm a veteran myself. I currently have an impairment rating for PTSD. I don't plan to, if this passes, I don't plan to partake in the medical marijuana. I don't feel that I need it. I don't feel that I'm at that point, but there are some that need it. The young man who sat here for over 5-6 hours, he sat on the front row on Monday. He sat there patiently. And he got here in the very beginning. He didn't get a chance to speak until the end, but he came up and he spoke. That tells me he's committed to getting better, to feeling better. He didn't want to get high. He didn't want to just smoke marijuana. He wouldn't have not have sat there for hours just to say, please pass this legislation. So with that, I remember one piece of testimony that really stuck out to me. And here's what I say about the PTSD. A couple years ago, there was a gentleman, I think it was a doctor from the upper state. Okay. And he came and he said, I went to Colorado and I saw a bunch of young men standing in line. They looked like they were from 18 to 24 years old, and they didn't look sick. And I had no intentions of asking him any questions, and one of the questions I asked him was, how does a sick person look? How does a person with PTSD look? You can't tell if a person has PTSD. You can't tell what's going on with somebody's body. So with that, Mr. Chair, I would call for the vote to move this legislation S150 to the full House floor favorable.